Hey traders, how are you? I hope everybody's okay, everybody's fine and doing well with the trading and other things. As usual, I'm doing well and carrying on with our daily routine and other routines like weekend routines, recording those sessions, and mainly on advanced Elliott wave as usual. Here is advanced Elliott wave. We are carrying on with the sessions on advanced Elliott wave. Now the last session, or the last two sessions mainly, were concerned with possible variations in corrective waves. We are looking on possible variations in corrective waves. So we have not completed those things about possible variations in corrective waves. We carry on because we already covered about zigzags, and then we covered variations on flats, and now we are carrying on with other forms of corrective waves. And mainly today we are going to look the concept of possible variations in triangles, in triangles, and we'll be left with possible variations in combinations. Also, we may discuss things about possible variations in combinations, but today let us concentrate to our today's sessions, the issues on triangles. So now, as normal, we have this homepage. Now I wanted to introduce things here. We have a homepage. It is LITEFOREX International. So mainly we have links to our social media. We have links there. Those are the major links, major buttons that everybody should be click before going anywhere. So make sure that you click those things. For those who are using computers, those buttons, they are active there. So you can click any button and it can direct you to any place that you want to visit. We have this first button for broker. We have Telegram, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So we have those major areas. Now, after visiting those things, remember you have to subscribe to this channel, because we still have other sessions that will still be dropped at LITEFOREX International. So in order to get notified, when a session is uploaded, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and then you turn on notifications. You'll be notified that there's a new content, because we still have other sessions. Now we're going to cover the 8th sessions, the 8th session. So we expect advanced Elliott wave to have about 12 sessions, but they can be more than 12. We expect to have 12 sessions. So in order to get notified with the remaining sessions, make sure that you subscribe and also share those contents. Make sure that you share those contents with other traders whom you think these informations will be helpful to them. So make sure that you do those things before going anywhere. Okay, now let's go to Whiteboard. Let's go to Whiteboard to carry on with our session. So it is it is advanced Elliott wave, and today is the 8th part out of 12 parts that are planned to complete the whole course. We have 12 parts, and today is the 8th part. And our major concept is variations in corrective waves. This is our major concept. Our major concept or the topic is variations in corrective waves. Now, there are many corrective waves. Today specifically, we are going to cover the idea of variation, or those who call the variations within triangles. Variations within triangles. Now, triangles, one among the forms of corrective waves. A triangle among the forms of corrective waves. So today we are going to see the major variations. We have those variations that are common to everybody, but there are those variations that are beyond information that most mentors actually they train people. So now, in the basic theme, as usual, things that I think everybody is aware with, I introduce the things that I think everybody is aware with, and then I will go beyond. So in a basic theme, we have about 4 types. Yes, we can discuss about 4 types of triangles. We have about 4 major types of triangles. This is in a basic thing. So most people, they know about things like symmetrical triangle. We have this we call a symmetrical triangle. That's one of the major one among the major types of triangles. Then we may have a reverse symmetrical. We may have a reverse symmetrical triangle. This is another form of triangle. And the third, we may have another type. We can call it as a descending triangle. We can have this, we call it as a descending triangle, something like this, a descending triangle. And the fourth type, which can be the last, it depends on which criteria of classification you need to use, but based on what I'm doing here, we will have only 4 types. So we have a descending, and then we have the ascending triangle, something like this, ascending triangle. So these are the major types. And those informations are what everybody knows. Those are things that everybody knows. Every mentor actually teach those things about triangles. When they discuss about triangle, they talk about symmetrical, reverse symmetrical, descending triangle, the ascending, something like that. So now, maybe to remind you, and for those who maybe don't have information or don't have knowledge about what are the symmetrical, what are the reverse symmetrical, now in a highlight I can give those informations about those symmetrical, reverse, and other things. So a triangle, mainly a triangle, is one among the major patterns that are formed during correction. It's one of the major patterns that are formed during correction. Therefore, in a corrective form, sometimes you can find that price is decreasing in volume. Sometimes you can find that the price is decreasing in volume as it is completing that corrective structure, or sometimes it can be increasing in volume. Therefore, when it is decreasing in volume, we get those who call the contracting triangles. We have those who call contracting triangle. So now, when the volume decreases, let's say I take as usual a scenario in uptrend. I take a scenario of an uptrend. So when the price is moving up, now this is an uptrend. When a correction takes form of triangle, we expect that we may have the major 2 variations. We may have decrease in volume as the price forms a corrective structure, or sometimes can be an increase in volume as the price is forming a corrective structure. Now, when the volume decreases, we can have this we call a symmetrical. We have this we call a symmetrical triangle, or sometimes it can be descending or ascending triangle. But when a volume increases, we will have this we call a reverse symmetrical. Now, a triangle has got A to E waves. It has got A to E waves. It's about 5 waves moving in opposite direction to each other. 5 waves moving in opposite direction to each other. So now, let's say we have a symmetrical now. Let's cover the idea of symmetrical triangle. If we have a symmetrical triangle, and mainly triangle is a 3-3-3 move. A 3-3-3 move. Actually, internal waves. Its internal waves have got 3 waves. Its internal waves in most cases have got 3 waves. But when we'll cover those major variations, we'll find that sometimes the structure may be different from this. But now let us see in the basic theme. In the basic theme now, a symmetrical triangle will be something like this. We'll have 1, 2, 3. That's an ABC, the first wave, then ABC, then ABC, ABC, then ABC to the downside. So ABC 3 waves, this will be A, then ABC 3 waves will be B, ABC will be C, ABC will be D, and finally ABC will be E. Now this E is completion of a triangle. E is completion of a triangle. Now after completion of triangle, therefore usually wave E usually wave E, it may overshoot or undershoot, but in uptrend now, in uptrend like in this scenario, we expect that wave E will overshoot, It means triangle is a continuation pattern. A triangle is a continuation pattern. Always it delivers a continuation message. This means that the price will continue in that primary direction. So usually wave E in this scenario will shoot up. Now, mainly I want you to understand about asymmetrical or contracting triangle. Asymmetrical or contracting triangle. Now let's see the scenario of reverse. A reverse symmetrical is when a price volume expands. A volume expands as the structure is being formed. So as usual, a scenario of an uptrend, then a correction begins whereby we'll have ABC, the first move, then ABC, the second, ABC, then ABC, finally we'll have the ABC to the downside. So ABC, this will be A, the first wave, B, then C, D, finally E. Now E is completion of this whole structure. Completion of the whole structure is at wave E. Now after completion of at wave E, as usual, triangle is a continuation pattern. Triangle is a continuation, so price will continue in upward direction. So now what I need you to understand or to remind you is that this is what we call an expanding or a reverse symmetrical. Reverse symmetrical or expanding triangle, and this is what we call a symmetrical or contracting triangle. So now let us see other major types. Major types are the basic thing. Other major types, we have the descending and the ascending. We have the descending and the ascending. Now what is descending and what is ascending? So let me clear this because we have already completed their concepts. So now let us see the idea of descending triangle and ascending triangle. Now descend, it means going down, falling, that is descending, and ascending means going up, that is rising. So a descending triangle, why it is known as descending? Now a theme as usual, an uptrend. In an uptrend, now a descending triangle is the one. A descending triangle is the one that has got a falling top, but it has got a flat bottom. A top is declining or is falling, but the bottom is flat. So this is what we call a descending, but the internal structure remains the same. ABC, 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 then ABC to the downside. This will be A, B, C, D, finally E, then it will resume with the direction of the major trend. But the case here is we have this falling upper line or the declining upper line, while the bottom is flat. That's why we call it as a descending triangle. Now it's vice versa, is an ascending now. Ascending triangle. Now in ascending, as usual, I take a scenario of an uptrend, but those things works even in downtrend. In downtrend they work the same. Now in ascending triangle is when the bottom is rising. Now we will have a flat top. We will have a flat top, but the bottom is rising now. The bottom is rising. This is what we call the ascending triangle. But the internal structure as usual, we'll have something like this: ABC, 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 AB. Oh, it is ABC, ABC, ABC. Now, like this, we'll have an ABC to the top, ABC to the downside. So this will be A, this will be B, C, then D, finally E. As usual, a triangle gives us a continuation message, so it will continue with an uptrend. But now the difference here is the top is flat. The top is flat and the bottom is rising. That's why we call it as an ascending. This one, the bottom is rising. That's why we call it is an ascending. And here the top was falling. That's why we call this as a descending triangle. So those are the major differences among triangles. Those are the major differences among triangles at the basic thing. Things that I'm sure everybody knows. Those are things that I'm sure that everybody knows. Every mentor teach those things, teach things of this kind. But now we have to take our idea to advance the concept. We have to take a session to advance the concept, to cover. Now those were not those variations that I expected to explain in triangles. Those things that I have explained, they are out of those we call the major variation in triangles. They are out from what we call the major variation in triangles. Those are just the types of triangles. But major variations in triangles are the things that I'm going to cover right now. But before starting that thing, I want to explain, to give you one information. I want to give you one information. Somebody said, maybe after completing the series of 12 sessions in LO12, in advanced LO12, someone asked about the idea that after completing those 12 sessions in advanced LO12, will I be full of techniques or tricks to analyze the market? Will I be a pro maybe in analyzing the market? Someone asking about that. If he will get through all of the 12 sessions, will he be a pro in analyzing market through the web principle? So now I want to make this clear to everybody. Now this is just an advanced Elliott. It is just an advanced Elliott wave concept. So advanced, it doesn't mean that is the highest rank of knowledge or the highest rank of informations. We still have other levels to go. So now advanced, it is somehow in a high rank, but it is not the highest. It is somehow in a high rank, but it is not the highest. So maybe shortly I can describe certain things about knowledge in, yes, it can apply anywhere. Knowledge, maybe let's say it is in Forex, but it is applicable in many areas. So in getting knowledge about anything, when you are getting knowledge about anything, we have various levels of knowledge. We have various levels of knowledge. So example, in Forex, most mentors actually, they are talking about maybe beginner, they are talking about advanced. Beginner, advanced. This is a beginner's course and this is advanced course. Actually, in most of cases they talk about those things, but it doesn't mean that Forex knowledge has got only two ranks. It doesn't mean we have only two levels of knowledge in Forex. We have many levels. So in most cases we can have about seven. We can have about 7 levels, and it is where we'll find that advanced Forex or advanced course or anything else in Forex, it doesn't mean that is the top rank. It doesn't mean that is the top rank. So maybe it has yes, there are many informations here, but I'll describe very few informations. Example, mostly they talk about beginners. Most people, they talk about beginners, but remember, before a beginner level, let's say we have a beginner level right there. So before a beginner level, we still have another lower level. So most people, they talk, oh, I'm a beginner, or I'm doing this and this, but sometimes they are not even beginners. They have never yet touched a beginner level, but they call themselves as beginners. So we still have a level down. Below a beginner, we have another level. We call it the starter level. We have this, we call it as a starter level now. What is a starter level? A starter level. So most people, you can find that they are in a starter level, but they think that they are beginners. Now, shortly, who is beginner and who is a starter? Who is a beginner and who is a starter? Now, a starter, we are talking about someone who has just got informations about something. Is someone who has just have informations. Someone have informations. Maybe example in Forex. Someone may get information from a friend. Maybe, oh, there is something, there is a business known as Forex. You open account to the broker, you deposit, you trade when it is when the price is rising, you buy, when it's falling, you sell. So after having those informations, or can get a support on how to open account and do other things, now that person will get into trading. That person will get into trading. But now the case there is, when he or she had those informations, now he or she was in a starter level. He has not yet begun a course. He has not yet begun. A beginner is the one who has already started covering things. Maybe someone has already started covering the concept of candlesticks. Maybe the issues on candlesticks. So if someone has already started covering those things, covering things like maybe the candlestick Bible or other things, that person we describe as is in a beginner level. But the one who has got just information from someone or from internet that there is something like this without covering any basic knowledge about the trading, that is in a starter level. So most people, they trade while in a starter level, they lose money, and then they draw a conclusion that trading actually is not real. So now I think we have got some information there. So before going to the highest level, we still have some levels in between. We have some levels in between. It includes things like elementary level, things like the intermediate, then we have the upper intermediate. So we have other intermediate level. We have the in-between levels here. Now, after having those in-between levels, it's where we are going to touch the advanced. Here we are going to touch the advanced level. We are going to touch the advanced level after having other three in-between levels here. Then after advanced, I've said that advanced level is not the top. It is not the top. We still have other levels above. We still have other levels above. So one of the level which is above advanced level is the proficiency level. We have this we call the proficiency. The proficiency level. A proficiency level is a level above advanced level. So now I'm sure you are aware that covering advanced level is not an end of learning about the Whiteboard principle. We still have other things to cover about the Whiteboard principle. So in advanced level, it's very simple, those things that we are covering. But in proficiency level, it's where you gain a deep understanding. You get a high skills on that particular matter. You get a high skills on that particular matter in a proficiency level. So now, let me stop there. But my intention was to give you awareness about what we are doing, to give you information about what next after advanced level. What next after advanced level. So now you are aware that we still have another level, the proficiency level. But above proficiency level, we still have other levels. So for those people maybe who know about the, maybe those who have studied English, we have that to call English, a Cambridge English. Actually, in Cambridge, when they are Cambridge University, when they are training English, they train people through levels, and they are like the same as what I've said here. Those levels, they are like the same, but they go beyond and classify those levels into classes. They have class A, then they have class B, maybe class B1, B2. So, but they are the same. They have the same things like intermediate, upper intermediate, proficiency, advanced. Yeah, something like that. For those who knows the information about maybe English at Cambridge at Cambridge University. So now let's stop there and go to our possible variations. Now let's go straight to our possible. Now our session is possible variations in corrective waves, but specifically today we are covering things on triangles. Today we are covering things on triangles. So now, what are those major or possible variations in triangles? What are those major or possible variations in triangles? Now, the first thing that we are going to discuss on possible variation in triangles, we'll discuss, that's very simple. That will be a very simple thing, which is a force breakout. We have this we call wave E force breakout. Now we will see the difference about wave E that have been presented when I was explaining about those major types of triangles, and a wave E that sometimes may occur. We will see wave E in the normal triangles and wave E in a modified or another form of triangle. Then we will see the idea of running or irregular triangle. We will see the idea of running or irregular triangle, but before that, I think it's better if we will see complexity in wave C. We will see the idea of complexity. We have this called complexity in wave C. We'll cover the idea of complexity in wave C. That will be the second major variation. And after that, we may cover things like a running. We'll cover the concept of running or irregular. We have this we call a running or irregular triangle. A running or irregular triangle. That is another variation. And the last thing, we'll cover the concept of a 9-wave triangle. A 9-wave triangle. Yes, that's good. A 9-wave triangle. A 9-wave triangle, sometimes I can call this as triangle within triangle. Something like this. A triangle within a triangle. That is a 9-wave triangle. A triangle within triangle. So now those are the major 4 variation in triangles that we are going to discuss today, and this is our today's content. This is our today's content. So now let's start with wave E force breakout. Let's start with wave E force breakout. The force breakout in wave E. So now in major forms of triangle. Now I take you back to major forms of triangle. In major forms of triangle, we have seen that a triangle will be something like this: B, C, D, E, something like this. So after E, then we expect the price will resume to the top. So now when we come to the idea of force breakout, now when we come to the idea of force breakout, when we come to the idea of force breakout, it's where we'll find that now a trend as usual was upward, and then a correction, it follows this pattern. Let's say it is a symmetrical like this. Sometimes it can be descending, ascending, or anything else, but let's take the idea of symmetrical triangle. Now in symmetrical triangle, a force breakout will be something like this. We'll have this A. Oh, now it is normal. This A is just a normal A. It doesn't mean when there is a force breakout, a triangle will have a different structure. No, it will have the same structure. A will be something like this. The A, B, C, this A, then A, B, C to the top, A, B, C to the downside, A, B, C. Then now here was A, this was B, C, D. Finally we have E somewhere there. So finally we'll have E somewhere there. So now we have said that there is a force breakout in wave E. A force breakout is when Now, in a normal structure, we have seen that wave E, this was wave E, wave A, wave B, wave C, wave D, wave E. In a normal triangle, we have seen that wave E has ended within a boundary line of wave A and wave C. A boundary line of wave A and wave C. Wave E has ended within that structure. So now, in most cases, you'll find that wave E do not move just and ends within a structure. In most cases, in triangles, wave E moves little bit outside the structure, and then after having this wave E outside the structure, then the price turns within a structure and moves on, continues with the direction. So now this little bit movement downward, here is where we call a force breakout. This is what we call a force breakout in wave E. Now this property is exhibited by most of triangle in most of times. So for those who have ideas about this normal wave E, those who have information about this normal wave E, when they find that price has broken below and then it's moving up, they think that maybe price is going to retest this level, then it will resume downward. But wonderfully enough, you'll find that the price has turned within a structure and then it resumed with the normal direction. So now, knowing this idea of force breakout, this will be a protective advantage against trading in opposite direction, because the direction is up. Maybe let's say in this scenario the direction is up, so if you don't know the property of force breakout, you will lose by trading against the major trend. So this is one of the major variations that you have to keep in mind. This is among the major variations that you have to keep in mind. It seems to be simple, but in a real market, actually it is very hard to manage this. In a real market, it's very hard to manage this. So maybe let me take you to the chart. Because someone asked about the idea why you don't see charts and other things. So maybe let me show you a triangle in a real chart. Even other structures, maybe zigzags, flats and other things, they happen within the market. They occur within the market, but it doesn't mean all the time you will find a zigzag or you will find a flat or anything else. That's why in the past sessions I've never indicated a live chart. I have never moved it to live market to show those structures. But in triangles, because we had it very few days ago, that's why I have decided to check for it. So now, in this market structure, we had a triangle somewhere there. So now, one of the most important information to note about triangles is that when a triangle is formed, mainly it gives a completion message. About the direction of the trend. So in most cases, triangle is formed in the fourth wave. Or sometimes it can be in wave B or anything else, but mainly in an impulsive move. The fourth wave actually takes the form of triangle. So now we had a triangle right there. This was in 4 hours. Actually, you can see this, but it's not clear like that. Something like this. but we'll move to lower time frames and see. We'll move to lower time frames and see what was here. Now in 4 hours, if you deline this, you will find that it gives a triangle message. So structures in real market, they cannot appear exactly as how we are drawing them in theoretical representations. In a real market, they can be a little bit something different, not exactly like what we have learned. So you may switch it to other time frames, or you may switch to line charts and other things in order to get a clear depiction of it. So now when we move to lower time frame, let's go to lower time frame in order to see what is within this area, to see what is within this area. Oh, I think the internet's not active. Oh, internet, there's internet access. So why it's not reload the chart? Let's see. So I want to show you this. Internet. I wanted to show you this in the real market. Yeah. Yes, it's here now. Yes, exactly. Now let's go to 1 hour time frame. Yes, this one. A 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame. Now we'll see certain things that we have discussed there. We have discussed the things in a theoretical, so we can see them in reality here. Whereby it includes things like a triangle being formed in a completion of a particular trend. A triangle is usually formed in a completion of a particular trend, like here. When this third wave was being completed, and then the fifth now inside the third, the fifth of the third. Now in the completion of the fifth of the third, a corrective structure was a triangle. Now this triangle, how we are going to label this? It's usually an A, then B, C, D, finally we have something like E there. But this movement, now you can see this, the longest candle right there. So this will be E now. This will be E now. The delined, this now, the delineation of AC, it must move beyond this this area. So this wave E, it displayed a false breakout. This was a false breakout. Now you can say that maybe E was here, but it's not true. This was just ABC to the top, then it moved down. So this ABC, the first 3 waves, this was just an A of E. So now maybe if we need to present the internal waves now, let's go deeper. This one A, this will be B, then C to the downside. So these are the internal waves. So ABC, it is in completion of wave E. Also this D has got ABC in its own, this C has got ABC in its own, everything has got ABC. So the ABC of wave E was little bit complex. And it displayed a false breakout. So after that, things goes on as usual. The trend completed, and yes, the market kept on moving. It kept on moving. Things goes on, and we still have projections here, so we can get an advantage again. We still have projections. This is spot gold. We still have projection in gold here on the coming week. Today's weekend. Today's is weekend, and it is Sunday now. It's Sunday midnight now. It's midnight. So we expect that after several hours to come, the market will open, and the movement that we expect to take place is little bit correction. It moves up. It completes the fifth wave. And things goes on. So this is not our target. Our target is to discuss variation in triangles. So that's over. Let's see the second variation. The second variation is complexity in wave C. Another variation is complexity. We have this, we call it as complexity. Complexity in wave C. Complexity in wave C. Now, those are the areas that the market leaves behind most of traders. So most of traders, they are left behind when market displays display those complexity. When market display those variations, it's where most traders are left behind. Now, what are the complexity in wave C? Now, in a basic theme, as usual, I'm taking you back. In a basic theme, we have seen a triangle will have A, B, C, D, E, then it resumes. So here was A, now here's B, C, D, then E. Now this is B. So now wave C is just normal. Wave C, it is just normal. A 3-wave move. As I described in a basic theme, that a triangle is a 3, 3, 3, 3 move. So this was just a basic thing. But when we come to possible variation, it's where you can find that this wave C can have can form complexity, and those complexity include things like wave C may be irregular, flat. Sometimes wave C can be a running flat. In triangle, it is just wave C only. Can be a running flat, and also wave C can be multiple zigzag. Wave C can be a multiple zigzag wave. So these are the possible variations in wave C that probably you never knew them before. So now, if it has got those variations, if wave C has got those variations, so what type of triangle do we expect to have? What type of triangle do we expect to have? Now we expect to have this type of triangle. Now those are the lines, delineating it. So we will have, as usual, the ABC. This is A, B. Then now this is A, then B. Then wave C will display its complexity. Wave C display its complexity. Let's say now wave C is a zigzag. I mean it is a regular or a running flat or anything else. Let's say wave C is a flat. Let's say it is a flat. Now if wave C is a flat, it will have its internal waves. Internal waves of a flat, I think you remember them. Internal waves of a flat, I think you remember them. Wave A of a flat is just an ABC. That is wave A of a flat. Then it will have wave B of a flat that is now, maybe this is too short. This is too short. So now it will be the ABC. That's the first wave of a flat. That's A. Then it will have wave B, that is an ABC. Now this is wave B of a flat. Then it will have wave C, whereby wave C of a flat is the 5-wave move. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this will be wave C of a flat, but in completion of wave C of a triangle. Now this was wave B of a triangle. Now this will be wave C of a triangle. After completion of this, a complex wave C of a triangle. Now the next move will be wave D. Now wave D will be a usual thing, the ABC to the top, then ABC to the downside. Now this is D, then finally E, and then market resume to the upside like this. But now what I want you to understand here is this complexity in wave C, having a flat. It has got a flat, even though it may not be clear as a flat here, but remember the structure of a flat, because we have already covered we have covered those types of flats and other things. So now you can have a clear presentation of what is a flat. So here is just an ABC, the first move in flat, ABC, the second move in flat, then we have the third move in flat. So something like this. Also, sometimes can have a multiple zigzag. Sometimes wave C can have a multiple zigzag. When it have a multiple zigzag, shortly, maybe I can present it here. When it have a multiple zigzag. Now, how things will be. When there's multiple zigzag here, we expect to have maybe A, B, C, then E, A, B, C, then E, A, B, C, something like this. So A, B, C, this will be the first zigzag. So if it is multiple zigzag, let's say we have double zigzag here. So if it is double zigzag, so the structure, the first structure will be W, then will be X, then finally Y. So the WXY. So WXY will have double zigzag. So it can be WXY XZ if it is a triple zigzag. But completion of the WXY, it forms wave C in higher degree. It forms wave C in higher degree. Then things goes on with wave D, finally wave E, then the market resumes. So now this little bit complex. This is a little bit complex, but it's very simple. So you may apply other variations. I've said that wave C can have running flat, can take a form of a running flat, a regular flat, a running flat, or multiple zigzag or anything else. So it takes those three major forms. So now after having that, after completing the idea of complexity in wave C, let us see the idea of a 9-wave triangle. Let us see the idea of a 9 waves triangle. 9 waves triangle. Now it's very simple. A 9-wave triangle. It's very simple. Or in other words, I've said this is known as a triangle. It is known as a triangle within a triangle. A triangle within a triangle. Triangle within a triangle. So now a triangle within a triangle, what's this? Usually in another form of major variations, I will find that there are variations that occur in wave E of a triangle. We have seen wave C now, we have covered wave C. So now in 9-wave triangle, we're going to see variation in wave E. We are going to see variations in wave E. So this explains variations in wave E. Now mainly is specifically in variation in wave E of a triangle. Covers the idea of variation in wave E of triangle. Now what's that variation? Basically, variation in wave E, it's when wave E by itself can be a triangle. It is when wave E by itself can be a triangle. So now let's cover the basic theme. The trend is upward. Now a triangle as usual is an ABC, 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 ABC. So here is A, then B, C, D, finally E, market resumes. So now wave E here in a basic theme, it is just a simple ABC. It's just a 3-wave move, Wave E in this basic theme is just a 3-wave move. That's normal. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this, and everybody teach informations like this. But we are going beyond where wave E can be a triangle by itself. We are going beyond whereby wave E can be a triangle by itself. So now, how a triangle will look like? So now, in a basic theme, a triangle has got just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Has got 5 wave moves. Has got just 5 wave moves, and mainly each wave having 3 internal, 3 internal, 3 internal, 3 internal. So now, if it is just 5 wave move, when wave E gains complexity, we will have a 9-wave move. Now, how it look like? Now, as usual, we have boundary lines. The trend is up as usual. I'm using the uptrend, but those things apply in downtrend also. They apply in downtrend also. So now, the 9-wave move will start with an A, B, C in wave A, then wave B, wave C, wave D. Now wave E will have that complexity. We have A, B, C, D. Now wave E will display that complexity that we are saying here. and the complexity is when wave E is a triangle by itself. Wave E is a triangle by itself. So now formation of wave E now will be something like A, B, C, D, E to the downside. So now it is something like this. So this now completion of this ABCDE, this will be in a completion of wave E in a higher degree. So in a lower degree, we will have A, B, C, D, E. But completion of this E in a lower degree will be completion of E in a higher degree, and then market will resume as usual. Market will resume. So now we'll have 9 wave move. We'll have a 9 wave move in total. If we sum up those waves of the inside triangle, if we sum up those waves of the inside triangle plus those of the high degree triangle, we'll have 9 wave move. So a 9 wave move is one among the possible variations in triangle. So now those who have basic knowledge about the triangle, now when they find that there is an ABC down there, totally they'll take consideration that triangle has completed, so we expect the market to resume. But you'll find that the price is still playing within a structure. So if you don't know the idea about this possible variation, you will be wondering about what's taking place within a triangle. But if you have an idea, once you have a clear ABCD, then wave E still forming a certain complex structure, you will be aware about the 9 wave triangle. Now you will be aware of a 9 wave triangle, or a triangle, the idea of a triangle within a triangle. So it will be quite simple for you to target wave E of an internal. You will be targeting wave E of an internal to trade it in continuation direction. That's very simple. So this is what we call a 9 wave triangle, or a triangle within a triangle. This is a 9 wave or a triangle within a triangle. Very simple. That is what we call the advanced thing. That's what we call the advanced thing. So now let's see the last concept. It has taken too long time to complete this session, but let us see the last concept, and the last one is on running or irregular triangle. I supposed to cover this in the beginning, maybe in a series of waves, because this irregular, this running, we call it as running or irregular, triangle, running or irregular triangle. Now this has got variations in wave B. So we had variation in wave B. Now we have variation in wave B. We have variation in wave C. Then we have variation in wave E. We have covered in wave C and D. So now we are going back to wave B. That's why I said that I supposed to cover this before wave C and E. But nothing will be wrong maybe with the flow of those contents. Everything will be clear, because there's no direct relationship between the flow of variation in wave B, C, and D. Everything is it is just separate. So now let's cover the idea of running or irregular triangle. Now a running or irregular triangle is when wave B travel beyond the beginning of wave A. Now let's go directly to the concept. Price is moving up, triangle formations like this. So we'll have A, B, C, D, finally E. So we have A, B, C, D, then E. So wave B usually, in a basic theme, wave E has a price travel that ends within the beginning of wave A. wave A started somewhere there, So price travel of wave B, normally it is within a price travel or the beginning of wave A. So that's normal. But when we come to the idea of running or irregular triangle, it's when we find that wave B has a price travel beyond the beginning of wave A. Wave B has a price travel beyond the beginning of wave A. So now, as usual in the basic theme, the trend is up now. Now, a running triangle will be something like this: A, B, C, D, E, like this. Oh, so now here is A, then B, C, D, finally E. So if we put the boundary lines, we'll have this connecting B and D. Then we'll have this one as usual, connecting A, C, and E. So the case here is wave B has traveled beyond the beginning, of wave A. That's why we call it as irregular. So all other forms of triangles are the regular. All other forms of triangles, they are regular. But this one is irregular. Or sometimes it is running. It is a running triangle. Most people, they know about running flats. But running triangle, very few know about this, and very few they teach the things. Running triangle. Very few people can teach you about running triangle. So now I have tried to rush the session because it seems to take too long. So let's mark the end. This marks the end. This marks the end of today's session. Running triangle marks the end of today's session. So make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you share. Those are the important things. You subscribe, you share, you comment, you like. So these are your fees. Actually, these are your fees, because those things that I'm teaching here, they are just for free. You don't pay anything. So what you are going to pay now, you have to pay through subscribing, you are going to pay through sharing, you are going to pay through commenting, you are going to pay through a like. You can comment anything, maybe a question or anything else, or a suggestion. Drop your comment in the comment section there. Like, do everything that I'm saying here before closing this video. But this marks the end, so thank you for your time, and thank you for keeping active following this channel, and make sure that you keep on doing that, because we still have other sessions to complete our course. So thank you.